Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the first pick of the 2nd round back in 2001. And that's the veteran Drew Brees.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They go play action here on 1st down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on here, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch the ship, watch the ship.
Breeze now to throw. Again has it complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey's one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the 2nd level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
Okay, baby, I see you.
The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. They'll be led out by the number 2 overall pick in 2016 from North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led him to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
The number 4 overall pick in the 2010 draft is left tackle Trent Williams. And oftentimes we talk about a guy of his potential and say just plug him in at left tackle for the next 10 years. But rarely does that work out. In this case, it's been spot on. A 7-time Pro Bowler, he patrols the blind side of all of his quarterbacks.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's third down.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. They'll roll him out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. Back deep, the veteran Ted Ginn. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Throwing again on second down. Breeze. And his throw is incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Breeze going to throw. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score, Redskins 7.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
On second down now, Bernard. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On third down, Trubisky gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
A 4-yard gain.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, he shifts past him. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And here come the Redskins now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
95-56, 95-56.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Bernard.
You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
A gain of 5. 3rd and 10.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Allen's first catch. Good for a first down. On first down, Bernard. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Swing.
At the 47-yard
Single.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Trubisky looking middle, and it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Check nickel.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 16 carries, 58 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Breeze. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4.
Holding.
And this looks like it's going to be holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Wake, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Here's Trubisky. That's complete. Bernard. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky gets it to his running back, Bernard. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Play action. Now Trubisky. He's going to look for Allen now. They got his man complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big play here for Dallas. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Bernard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Cowboys on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's caught. Cooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 24-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown.
Keenan Allen.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after.
Cowboys.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A nice run on first down. Gets him 6 yards to the 31. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A give to Kamara running right. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The Redskins on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Kamara. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Now Breeze on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. This one caught by Ridley. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have it first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Trubisky will throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Here's Trubisky to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield.
Holding.
Let's get the call. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 22-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding up, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Trubisky, that's complete to Butler. A strong, broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Sturgis is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Ready?
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. you're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide, usually going to pick up a holding call.
A throw over the middle taken in. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Well, this is caught by Ginn. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. The Redskins send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Throwing on 2nd down. Trubisky underneath. This is Bernard. Give him 2 yards on that play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Now Trubisky to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little
they?
extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg it. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Point after now from Sturgis. It's good to make it 17-7. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down, Trubisky, and his throw here's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. To throw is Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. A call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. That throw into the arms of Allen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Trubisky. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 22-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run on 1st down. Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. He was trying to get that back to Allen, and it's 3rd down. Now Trubisky.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Kill.
They run it again with Kamara. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Breeze. Hard throw, incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action with Trubisky. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Back him up.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score Cowboys 20, Redskins 7.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
I'm here all day.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
They go play action. Trubisky. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 29-yard line. On 1st down, Bernard. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. From the 27, Trubisky. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, it's Breeze. Gets this one to Juszczyk. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing now is Breeze. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Let's see who this is on. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Ebron caught left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They run the counter. Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now it's Trubisky. That's complete. Bernard. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
And that's understanding where the markers are because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there'll be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Breeze now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30.
Holding offense.
Ready.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 23-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now it's Trubisky. He may try and run for... Now Trubisky lost the football. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Sturgis for the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. This one taken from the 7. And shutting him off, now open field. And he'll be out of bounds at midfield. So a solid return to the 50.
After return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now on defense, do you play aggressively or do you lay back a little bit to try and calm things down?
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Breeze going to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Here's Breeze. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sheldon Richardson, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Ready? You ready? Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
To throw again on second down. Breeze. That is caught at the 7-yard line. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Breeze again. Now Breeze lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And now look at him go. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Cowboys, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Washington, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.